how can we write a strong, powerful, debatable thesis statement for an essay, even when we get maybe a vague prompt or all different kinds of prompts? That's what we're going to look at today. I'm Erin. Thanks for being here at High Value Writing. We are going to look at making our thesis statements four things: analytic, arguable, supportable, and specific. If you can hit those four factors, you've got a strong thesis statement. Here's why we're covering this. I recently put up a poll and folks responded, yeah, it's making the statements powerful that is the most challenging. So that's what we're going to look at today with three styles of prompt, starting first of all with when you really do get a real specific question in your prompt, which I think is the easiest way to write a thesis. So let's look at our first example. How can organizations help employees get more work-life balance? All right, two approaches that you could have for that one. We can usually say, this is kind of cause and effect, right? Organizations can do this by blah, or blah can help organizations do this. So when you have a prompt that's a question, you're basically rephrasing it into a statement and then adding the rest, but making sure that it's debatable and specific and all of that. Organizations can help employees with work-life balance by, we would not want to say here, giving more time off. That is probably a little general, and it might also be kind of like, well, yeah, sounds like a fact. Of course, if we have time off, we'll have more time to do other things. So we're going to get a little more specific, a little more nuanced here. I'm going to say organizations can help employees with work-life balance by offering work-from-home options, let's say. And then I might even spell out in my essay what those are. If I want to take the other order approach, that's going to be equally good. Offering work-from-home options can help organizations promote work-life balance for employees. All right, so when you get a question as your prompt, you basically just complete it, making sure you've put in something specific, making sure it's supportable. Yeah, there's research on this that I can look to. Making sure it's debatable, not just a, well, duh, that's a fact, right? But a real argument, because some people do not agree with this. So therefore, you know this is debatable. All right, let's go on to our second example. And our second example no longer has a specific question, but at least it does give us a topic. Write an essay about social media use in the US. Again, a little easier when you have a question to answer, but now it's sort of on you to think of what that question might be. And here are a couple little kind of templates you could consider using to get started. One of them is where you just take kind of the main subject from within your prompt and begin there. And this is for one, if you want to say two different things that are different. While blah, blah, blah positive, also blah, blah, blah negative. Or while blah, blah, blah negative, also blah, blah, blah positive. This is a handy structure for a lot of different types of essays. All right, couple examples. Social media use in the US has increased. You're probably guessing, I'm not really going to recommend this example. Let's talk briefly about why that's not the best thesis statement. To me, this does not pass the so what test. If you look at a thesis statement and you kind of say, yeah, so what? What does this mean? Why is this important? Probably not the best thesis statement, right? It doesn't have that analytic or that debatable power. So we want to avoid things like that. Instead, though, you can think to yourself effects, benefits, drawbacks, changes over time. Those are usually areas you can look at pros and cons or changes over time. So social media in the US, I'm going to just say, has been shown to impact tweens negatively. Just saying that for that one. This one I'm going to come out with a positive. This is supportable though, right? We can look for research for that. It's debatable. Surely there are ways that tweens have benefited, right? So we're kind of walking the line, able to argue this one out, which is what we want. Here I might say, while social media use in the US has been shown to impact tweens negatively, social media also helps small businesses. So I could be trying to say in my essay, we have positives and negatives with this increase of use in the US. All right, so let's move on to the third option. When you do not get a question, you do not get a topic, you're just kind of like, hey, read this thing and write an essay about it. So on that third example, write an essay about the reading. Write an essay responding to this article. Something like that that's totally open for you to decide. There are a few ways you can approach this. I would highly recommend watching this How to Write a Thesis Statement video that helps you frame a question for yourself if you didn't get one. Or you could try out one of these two templates here. I'm going to just make up topics here. The article claims playing video games is bad for brains, but studies show they can actually help people work on their focus. Now I have two things kind of against each other, definitely debatable, definitely specific, or more one where we're in agreement. This short story shows the harm of bullying, and that is supported by what we're seeing in schools today, right? So now I have two things that I can provide evidence for. My evidence from the story will be about bullying examples. My evidence from society will be facts and statistics and studies about that. When in doubt, you can always think of a question or topic for yourself, thinking about what's a benefit, what's a drawback, what's something that's changed or is different, or what's something I could apply this to. All right, we're gonna leave you with a video on this final screen here on how to write an essay. That includes excerpts on how to write a thesis statement and also all kinds of outlines and organizational strategies you can use that can also help you narrow down what you want to talk about. Thanks for watching. Let me know what questions you have.